Welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched the season premiere of The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Atlanta's back, season 16.
Yes. Have we done Atlanta before?
We've never done Atlanta.
Okay.
No.
Because we started the podcast after Atlanta went off.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I know.
That would explain why we couldn't figure out which color to do. Whether we
Right.
orange or a different one.
We've never done it. Yeah, because we started the podcast in like 2024 and Atlanta ended in September 2023.
You're right. Orange should work instead of for peaches. That'll work.
Yes.
Otherwise, it would have been this purple, and that's doesn't quite work.
Orange, because like with their backgrounds and their pictures, we have some new pictures.
Yeah.
This may not be the correct seating chart for the reunion. It's too soon. It's too soon.
Too soon to tell.
Yes.
But I think instinctually, this seems pretty right from what
based
we've
on
seen.
like this initial friction. But you never know. Relationships change. So
They sure do.
So it's good that Atlanta's back.
Yeah.
I liked this episode. When I watched the trailer a couple of times, I was kind of like, okay, maybe. But I wasn't like super excited about it compared to the other shows. And I think there's so much pressure to make this right because Atlanta hasn't been right in like 2 or 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was like, I don't know, but like I liked this first episode.
Yeah.
It felt good.
Yeah. And with everything we know that happened with Kenya and her situation with the show, it was a little disappointing to know that we weren't going to get the Porsha Kenya reunion sort of situation.
They keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, which I don't know how many episodes in that happens.
It's weird that they're going to, I guess they have to show us that because that will explain why Kenya is not a big part of the show.
Right. And it's just so weird that she like pops up, but like you don't have, Kenya is really good at confessionals. Mm-hmm. So she would have like said so many like different things. And it's like, oh, no, Kenya.
The show was very, very, very Shamea forward.
Very Shamea forward. A lot of Shamea.
A little Shamea, a lot of Shamazel. It just seems like they were. And maybe, I get the impression from the trailer that Shamea is a huge part of the season.
Yeah.
Like, it does focus on her a lot. But not just Shamea, but Shamea, particularly for me, but all the women have so many looks in this first episode.
So many,
They're doing the full-body Dubai look.
I don't know if I like that.
But for a quick second before they go traditional. So, I think they're trying to ease us in. Uh-huh. But then, like, for crying out loud, everyone had at least 2 different like confessional looks on this episode.
I think Shamea had 4. Yeah.
It's just that's too much to take when you know who everyone is, when you're just getting used to someone. And then Shamea doing the short hair in the confessionals and then not anywhere else in the show.
Right. It's like all like it was like wig, and then
and then in confessionals, who is that old woman? Yeah, and she's my age. Younger than me, I think.
She's not. She's 42.
Yeah, younger
she was 42,
than me.
So she's like 43 this year. She's not. Well, the hair isn't very flattering how it's styled because it's very auntie.
Yeah,
like auntie going to church. And it just it didn't work for me because she's so pretty. And I'm not saying she needs like hair down to her butt like like Porsha or whatever.
Right.
But like I think just like how it could be short hair, but in a different way. Like, would she have the bob? Was it like a longer bob?
I could do with a bob.
Yeah. It was just kind of like, I don't understand. The styling of the short hair wasn't great and it didn't, flatter her.
But yeah, and it also seems to be setting a tone for someone who doesn't, I don't remember her. I know she's been on the show. I know she's a friend of Porsha's.
Forever, yeah.
And I know we've seen her before, but every time we've seen her before, it's always been in this very youthful context. Uh-huh. And you see her with you're right, with the auntie hair.
Yes.
You're just kind of like, who is this?
It's a little Isabel Sanford.
Okay.
It's when she has that black, like, it's not muumuu, but it's like, kaftani, if you will. Like the black, My thing,
all I know is what I guess I'm saying is she's giving me more Marlo than she is Porsha. Like if you told me she was Marlo's friend, I'd be like, okay, yes.
Why? Because she's so...
Just because she just has this older vibe to her.
Oh,
What, would you think it's because she a hoe? No, that's not what I'm saying.
This has gone in so many directions already. I don't know. I can't keep up.
Shamea knows how to use an L apostrophe. It's not archive. I know that. I can tell that already. But
archive. We don't use that.
Yeah.
So the thing with Shamea, it's like she has been on the show a long time, like popping in. She was an actual friend of that last season what Porsha was
everyone
on.
was the friend of?
No, that season. No, before that, when Portia's last season before she left with the whole ridiculous
Bolo season.
Bolo, yes. So
I remember Bolo. I don't remember what else happened.
Yeah,
but I remember Bolo.
So that's what like she was an official friend of, and it's like I had always heard that her husband didn't want her to do the show, which makes sense. As like I think they are actually wealthy people from what we can see, and I can see how he would not want his life out there. He's like, we are fine, we don't need to like be famous because they've been after her for years to be on the show.
I mean, first off, she started off her intro talking about her $9 million house,
right? The second biggest like house sale in Atlanta,
right? I'm sure Heather Dubrow had the first, and then the fact that it has its own name, like which also Sterling Hall, like.
Are we on Beyond the Gates?
We're kind of on Beyond the Gates. No, but Cynthia who pointed that out, right?
Yeah.
Which is funny because she's the one who has Lake Bailey.
Yeah.
So I guess I was about to say like it's kind of cheap to be like we named our house, like we gave it a plaque,
Right. Established 2010.
Right.
Although we have friends who have a similar sign.
Do we?
Yes, with a large family.
Oh, but that's their family.
That's their family, not their house. Not their house.
They weren't like, we're calling this
Sterling Manor, established 20.
Yeah. That's
07.
their family.
Yeah.
And straight people, they do weird things.
They do weird things.
They do things like that.
I'd say, like, I feel like that's where I was going with the whole thing. We've seen Shamea like years and years and years, but I feel like we're actually being introduced fully to her because that's what happens when you actually have a peach and you see all of your life and not just like, little bits and pieces when you pop in as a friend.
Right.
So I didn't know they were friends for quite some time. I didn't know they were friends like since they were children, she and Porsha. I didn't know how long she married to her husband. I knew a little bit about, her youngest child and the complications at her birth and whatnot. But yeah, I feel like I didn't know she was this wealthy.
Right.
That's the number one thing. Like they were like, okay, and now I know why they wanted her on the show because she's actually wealthy. She's not rich, she's wealthy.
I mean, I can't remember much else about Shamea's story from this episode because she was just doing too much.
She did a lot. But she's featured a lot. Well, that whole time-lapse video when she was talking about meeting her husband, and it was like, just to end with, and then I took a shit in his toilet, and he in his bathroom, and
we've been together
still wanted me.
Yeah, I mean...
that was the one part of the story that I actually enjoyed. To tell you the truth.
Well, I mean, she was doing a lot, and it just...
She's singing.
Oh, God, you had to remind me of that.
She's a quadruple threat.
Yeah. See, so right now, already off the bat, I just don't know if, like, are we really seeing her, or is she still giving her first episode, like, I'm amazing? Which, fine, good for her. I mean, she's doing a good job. Like, I like what she's doing, but it's too much.
Right.
So I look forward to when it settles down a bit.
When it calms down. Yeah. It just felt like they had to have that first moment with Porsha and all the headlines, and they're like, Shamea time.
And I do like that when she was out with Kelli and Brittany, that she was like...
I think it's just Brit.
No, because they called her Brittany a couple times. Like even when Shamea recapped it to Porsha, she's like, I was out with Kelli and Brittany. Oh, she said Brittany. But I like that she defended Porsha and was just like, look, I don't think it was like that, you guys. I like to see that because I don't know. I kind of feel like someone who was being messy and trying to do too much would
stay on the show,
right? Yeah. Wouldn't necessarily have done that, and I think that's where like her true, personality came.
I think they're actually friends. We do see in the trailer that they have a sit down that's tense, and she doesn't feel like Porsha is there for her as much as she is for her, and they kind of spotlighted that a bit with Porsha coming so late to the party and like interrupting her $430,000 car moment,
right?
Which that's a lot of car. That's a house, but in a car. Like that's too much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't need that.
No one needs all that.
Yeah,
no one needs that.
It's pretty though.
Yeah. Yes. And she twerked on it. But yeah, like I think they're already like she's so ride or die, but like it doesn't seem that Porsha is reciprocal with it. So that I'm sure will play out.
Portia's going through a lot right now. So.
Yeah, I'm so glad Portia's back. She's one of my favorites, like Housewives of all time. And she's really funny, and
she gets her ass stuck in an elevator. almost as though it was on purpose.
And it meets with the same divorce lawyer who was also Nene's divorce lawyer on the show. What's his name? Yeah, it's
Russell, right?
No, I want to say Greg, but it's not Greg because it was
Nene's husband. I think it was Russell. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm sure we'll see him again.
Yeah, I think it's really sad because I think Andy pointed this out like way before the season started that this is supposed to be like, you know, Portia's coming back as a wife and like almost like her victory lap.
Oh, right.
And then it all fell apart right before filming started, which I'm sure the producers were like, yay.
Drama.
Right. But the whole thing, it seems very, very messy. And now it's still playing out with Simon and Ice and all that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
So it's just all the things that she didn't really know who she was married to, and you know she loved him so. I think still loves him very much, you know. So it's sad how that's turned out.
So she says.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's going through a lot, you guys.
Yeah, and then it is also like just seems like cheap, but also like low hanging fruit for the other women to be like, she stole that woman's man.
Also, that was like years ago. Like,
and I thought like even already on Atlanta, like they already rehashed that. They already talked about that or in some form.
Well, the thing is they couldn't because Porsha left the show.
Oh, it was on Portia's Family Matters thing.
Yes.
Is that what it was? Or Porsche, the Family Matters thing.
No, Portia's Family Matters.
For Family Reunion?
No, Family Matters.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like she left the show. All this stuff happened with her and Simon. They got together and, you know, then they did that horrible one-off show. And
horrible. It just wasn't compelling.
It was too much. Her family wasn't that compelling.
Yeah.
The extended family beyond Lauren, who you love.
I do love Lauren.
Yes.
Although I guess she did prove herself to be a little too hippy dippy in that. Like, although we're gonna go meditate.
I forgot all the meditations.
Sound bath and meditating.
Yeah, she was very hippy dippy.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody on the show for Real Housewives of Atlanta got to confront her, and for some reason Kelli has designated herself to be the person who is like, I will be the confronter, and just coming in a little too hot out of that. It's like, you don't know this chick, you know why. And maybe she was cheated on, so not even maybe that's what happened. And also segueing to Kelli, she was saying that she had a lot of I guess scary moments with her soon-to-be ex, and where there was a lot of fighting and whatnot, and you know she's 4 girls, and you know trying to.
I think I was getting too much information crammed into my head this episode, but with all the new women and their details, and they have a lot going on, which is good.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like I don't remember what you're talking about. I remember she had 4 girls, 2 twins.
It was like she didn't. It was somewhat brief. Like when they were at that tea party, she was saying, you know, they went from being like this loving couple to now they're like the worst of enemies. And she's trying to wrap up the divorce. And then she alluded to there was a situations, but she didn't want to go into more detail. Obviously, trying to like not start shit with the ex and also protect her children. I'm sure. Yeah. Yes. So, but yeah, I think we learned the most about her.
Kelli, for sure.
The new girls.
Oh, yeah.
After Shamea.
All we learned about Brittany is that her husband's name is Charles Oakley.
No, that's Angela.
Oh, okay. So, okay. See, too much new detail. They could have, I think they might have benefited from some of the wait a couple episodes to bring the other women on situation. But
they had to have like the whole thing was like Shamea's party, so they had to like they kind of like, as it is, Angela was kind of shoehorned in there, like, you know, like basically like as she's walking through the door to Shamea's party, it's like, hi, I'm Angela, I'm married to Charles Oakley. Okay. And then the next thing all we see is like, and my wig is going askew.
Yeah, glue is not gluing. It was weird. You forget how hot it is. I mean,
in Atlanta,
yes. And you'd think that if it was that damn hot, they would have been inside.
And it just rained, so I'm sure the humidity was like off the chain,
off the charts.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. And the third lady, new lady, or fourth if we're counting Shamea as new, is Brit, who eventually has the issues with Kenya.
Right.
And all we learned from about her is that she used to be a video vixen. She's now an insurance agent where she met her now husband.
She makes it seem like, I feel like she was like on the phone with Vicky Gunvalson, like talk about how amazing the life of insurance agents are. She's like,
I need crossover.
I live the glamorous life as an insurance agent.
I need her to bring a franchise of Cote de Casa into Atlanta.
I was just like, what the hell is she talking about? Because it's like she's like one step away from saying like, I live like the best life ever, and like we get the finest things in life because of insurance. It's like I'm not following where you get there, but
that's proper insurance. Get your life insurance.
I mean, I know there's more money in insurance than I'm aware of. I know I'm not that naive, but
I do like when Kenya made that like a good neighbor joke.
that was good. Oh, you're more than a good neighbor.
Yeah.
But Kenya was coming for her.
Oh, off the bat,
way early on. So
Kenya loves to haze the new girls.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah. Coming for like, well, the whole thing with the ring, like she kept pointing out the ring, like I got the upgraded ring. It's like, who cares?
Yeah.
What else you got?
Yeah.
You sell insurance, you got a ring. Okay. What else? Well, we know what else because that's going to come later on. But
yeah. Then the other.
Oh.
But my favorite.
No, I was going to say like Shamea and So basically the order of events was Shamea meets with Brit and Kelli.
Mm-hmm.
Kelli is like, how they talk about Porsha. Kelli is like, she saw that woman's husband. Then Shamea and Porsha go to a strip club. You know, as you do.
I mean, I do.
Cheeks clapping. Cheeks clapping in the background.
Yeah, like there were a few shots where they're like just in the background. You're like, well, that's some ass. That is ass galore.
Acid.
I do know they say that strip clubs have good buffets, like good lunches. Our friend Sarah, she had one of her birthdays at the Gold Club in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
And I remember going there and people are like, "What are you? Oh, you're going to a strip club? It's my friend's birthday."
I've never been to a strip club where ladies are performing.
Oh,
yeah. I don't have the urge to, not just because I'm homosexual, but because I'm just like, why would I want to do that?
When there's a cover for that sort of thing, I don't really enjoy it because I'm like, I don't want to spend $20 just to get in the door.
I just think that energy with the men, the women, I'm like, great, do your thing,
right.
Clap those cheeks. But like with the men around them involved, that whole vibe of that scene, it's not my thing. But they made it seem as if it was like, oh, it's a casual little lunch, doing shots. No lunch, just shots, just hanging out in the strip club because Porsha hasn't gotten out of the house in a while. And while we're here, so Kelli was saying something about you. And like, it was just like, what?
Sorry, I'm still stuck on the idea of getting you to a strip club. Like, I'm trying to think.
I don't need to go.
No, I'm not going to like drag you there. I'm just trying to think like, is there an event or a time we could be like, strip club? You know what?
Well,
next time we need lunch. How's that?
I mean, I'm sure the buffet's good. No, the strip club I've been to in Atlanta was, and I just flew out of my mind.
Was it called Legs?
No, Heidi Garner. It was not called Legs. Oh my gosh, it's the male strip club in Atlanta.
Oh, you went to a male strip club?
Yes, it's like a huge thing. Oh crap! I can't think of the name.
Well, it'll come to you later. It wasn't like just Chippendales or Tallywhackers.
No, it was like the local version of, and they actually made a documentary about it. You can find on like Amazon, and it's completely flew out of my mind. Someone in the comments helped me out. But anyways, that's it. That's like,
so you've been to a male strip club,
right? It's a gay male strip club in Atlanta.
Okay,
I went to like years and years ago before like I moved from Atlanta. So in like the early 2000s. Actually.
Okay. You think it's still open?
I don't know if it survived the pandemic.
And why didn't we go there when we went back east for Christmas?
I mean, come on. We should have.
I mean, come on. Hey, guys, we'll be back.
Just go to the strip club. Don't wait up. I don't even know like where it is. But
well, we're going to look that up when we're done.
Yes. So, yeah. But I can't imagine just like being like,
I went to the Nob Hill Theater. I've told you this story.
I went
there once, and I didn't realize I was starting a conversation with the stripper on stage. All my friends thought I was weird because like, you didn't think it was strange she's wearing a trench coat and no shoes, and I was like, I just wasn't paying attention to
not
this sort
a trench
of thing.
coat and no shoes.
I just, was talking. I was nervous because I was at a strip club, and also that strip club wasn't really a strip club per se.
No.
That was more like they come around and give you a lap dance whether you want it or not.
Well, it's like a theater.
Yeah.
And so it's like, there's more like movies and...
It's not even that classy to call it a theater. I mean...
I know, that was me being ironic.
I know.
And sarcastic.
That was something else.
Both.
But it's gone now. I don't think there's any male strip clubs in San Francisco.
Swinging Richards.
I knew if we talked about it long enough.
Very Richards.
Very good.
Yes.
We'll have to find out if it's open.
I know. I watched the documentary. It was very interesting.
Anyways, did they have a good buffet there? Do you know?
We didn't have any food there. It was just, I'll tell you more about that off the blog or off the pod. They kept looking at the blogs on the show, like, oh, the blogs say this, the blogs say that, and I'm like,
well, I think because they had just started filming, and they don't really know each other. The only thing.
They had like Google
point of view. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I thought it was interesting because it did feel while Shamea, Kelli, and Brit were talking to each other, it felt like an entirely different show. It was weird because it felt like them talking about Porsha as though Porsha was the newbie on the show.
Right. Like, my friend Porsha. I mean, you mean the star of Atlanta? Yes,
you mean the one who's been on here for a long. Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, it's funny because they did break the fourth wall, like when Porsha went to see her lawyer,
right?
Simon was trying to stop her from shooting in the house, and then also when Shamea said that, Simon texted me to congratulate me on getting a peach.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting.
It seems like the fourth wall doesn't exist anymore in any of the shows. Even Beverly Hills has just kind of loosened that in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's just probably hard to produce a reality show in this day and age, especially one like this, where you're not self-aware. You gotta.
Well, also, unfortunately, like social media and the audience play such a part in the shows compared to what they used to.
Yeah.
So they end up coming onto the show, like these podcasts. It's not like, oh, I'm just like a random chick doing a podcast. It's like you're on a podcast because you're on the Real Housewives of insert city.
Right.
So.
Well, hopefully Atlanta doesn't get as involved with the blogs as the other shows.
Like Salt Lake.
Or even New Jersey. And
Jersey. Oh, God.
All those things. So.
Yeah. Cynthia popped up. Good seeing her.
Good to see her.
Yes.
When she was standing next to Brit, Kelli? Oh my God. Either Kelly's the tiniest woman on the planet or Cynthia truly is like 6'8".
I think Kelly's very tiny.
And I think on top of that, Cynthia is just very tall.
Yes, because she's a model. Yes.
Yes. I also, that Cynthia's dress didn't seem to fit right. Like it seemed like it was a little...
It wasn't flattering. Yeah.
It was too short and too small, but I mean, she looked great. She looks great.
Yes.
And she loves her long wigs. Loves them.
That was a good wig compared to, I like the bangs.
Mm-hmm.
I was down with that. I think her look right here is like a really good one.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Drew.
Drew. We haven't talked about Drew.
Weird how we haven't talked about Drew, and you seem to think that I'm being too hard on her. I have to say, if I don't see Ralph, I'm going to be so happy.
Ralph is not going to be, like, the fact that, like, we only heard Ralph's voice. Ralph is not.
Oh, we heard his voice?
When, like, she's like, oh, go see Daddy in the basement.
Oh, I don't want to see his face. I don't want to hear a storyline about him. I want this to be the only time we speak about Ralph on this podcast.
Okay.
Because I think he just bores her up even more.
Bores her up.
So, that being said, I liked what I saw. I think she looked great. I think she had a good attitude about everything that's going on. I think it was interesting hearing her talk about how, like, there's an app that they communicate through for their divorce and the custody of the
Teddy's
kids.
talked about that too. And like, they seem like they're doing some sort of nesting thing too as well. Yeah.
He gets the first, third, and fifth weekend of the month. So I guess if it falls that way, sure, okay. But no, I liked hearing her. It seemed like she had a good outlook and a positive, kind of path forward, but I'm waiting to see what her
her whole story this episode was the dentist of it all. And which is just like I mean, I
wish they would have come out one way or another and just said she's seeing Dennis or he's just... They didn't really even address that or even bring it to Drew to ask her.
The thing, Yeah, towards the end, which got cut off for us.
Right.
We probably went into it. But like the thing with Drew is like she always plays coy, and like, what do you mean? Like that's my friend Dennis, and he's into music.
Yeah.
Didn't you know that's his passion? And like he is my savior because I couldn't get out of bed, but I knew I had to record, and I went, and Dennis got me out. I mean, okay.
It was a little shady. The flashback. Well, didn't Porsha have a song?
That was so shady of Kenya to say that. Like that was in 2014, way before she met, and she wasn't writing music like for long after that. So yeah.
It was funny. I liked it.
That song was horrible too. I love Porsha, but that was not a good song.
I don't know that I know that song.
It's called Flatline.
No, that's not a good thing to name your song.
No, it was after a divorce because like their love flatlined.
Okay, say no more.
It's like an episode of The Pit. I don't know. What else happened in the episode? It was basically a game to Shamea's party, Portia's divorce, introducing the new girls. Mm-hmm. I like them all so far. I don't love. Someone had to do it. And so I guess Kelli just volunteered. I don't love that she's so like, I'm going to ask these questions. And I still didn't get an answer. And I'm like, girl, she just met you. Why would she like, no. So, but I think aside from that, I'm okay with all of them. They seem to be. Angela,
I don't think we know enough about yet.
Right.
I think that's the thing. Right now, she's giving me a little bit of a Stacey vibe where it's just kind of like she's coming in and just being, hi, I have a rich husband, just like very surfacey.
Yeah. I feel like
sing-songy.
It seems like I can't picture. She seems very mature. Like I'm not saying like she seems old. I think she's just carries herself like I'm a mature lady. Mm-hmm. And why would I like mess with these chicks? Mm-hmm. I don't see her necessarily fitting in just yet. But again, we only saw her for like 5 minutes, and like most of those minutes she was in the bathroom trying to like get her wig together. So
I will say I was wondering this. Is the whole purpose of throwing a white party or a themed party where like everyone wears the same color for the host of that party show up to not wear that? Is that the only reason that people throw these?
Exactly. And like the dresses weren't cute that she wore.
No.
Like like you have all this money, like you're better than those dresses.
Yeah, they did seem a little chintzy, so to speak.
Yes.
Like I also have to say on Beverly Hills, when Kyle would throw a white party, she
would wear white.
She wouldn't show up all of a sudden wearing the only color there.
Look, this is not the black and white ball of the country club on Guiding Light where some chick like Riva shows up in a red dress.
Breaks
like,
the rules.
Yes, it's just kind of like, you're right. The whole thing is like, so everyone else is in this color, but I'm going to wear my color stand out because I'm the birthday girl. And I think white parties are so antiquated, it makes me think of Diddy, which is not a good thought.
No.
So let's leave white parties like in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
It's not cute anymore.
Yeah, and I think also like, again, like I feel you could stand out on your own and look in the same dress as everyone else, but it's like a crutch. It's a prop, so to speak, to have to show up in a different colored dress and be I'm different than everyone. It's like, if you were that truly different, we'd notice it.
Elsa didn't need the stilt walker playing the violin, the girl with the chandelier on her head. The girl, there's always an aerial person spinning around. Like, why? I'm surprised she didn't have a fire breather. Like, it's as like
I wonder
ubiquitous as a freaking like old Hollywood party.
Yeah, I wonder if it was just because of her first televised, like first Housewives party.
Yeah, she went all out.
She's clearly thrown parties before, so does she do that every time?
She's never thrown a party in this house.
Oh, okay.
Established in 2010.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
I would think you'd throw a party in 15 years.
Like a housewarming. Would you throw a housewarming in 2010?
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah.
Unless they just bring that plaque wherever they move. Is Sterling Hall just whatever house they live in?
Sterling Hall is in their heart.
Yeah. Sterling Hall is where the hearth is.
Yeah.
Home is where the heart is. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes.
So yeah. It's interesting to me.
Yes.
But I think as far as other franchises go, this is the best first episode I've seen in a while.
Right. It didn't feel like a complete. They're calling it a reboot. I don't think this is a reboot. This is just like bring in familiar faces and then some new ones.
Yeah. Well, wait,
So it's like
wait, where was Phaedra? I didn't see her in any of it. I'm totally kidding.
Wait till like the last 2 weeks of the show.
And
she still got a peach.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of BS. I'm just like, what?
It is.
We didn't pause it and look long enough when they brought up the, title, It
was only the 6 of them. I did.
Oh, you did? Okay,
and when they're all wearing the red dresses.
Yeah, I was
6 of them.
wondering, and I was like, wait a minute, and yet Phaedra has a peach?
You'd think that, yeah, right? Like if they shot that, well, I don't know when they shot that.
Maybe they update it when Phaedra comes along.
And like she just plops in the middle.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Or maybe by the time, taglines come out. Have we seen taglines yet for this?
No, we haven't seen taglines. Huh. Oh, you're right.
How are they keeping those so secret?
I feel like we don't even see like an opening until like, 3 weeks into the show these days.
Yeah.
So taglines become less important.
Don't they know that these franchises, they hang their hat on these wonderful taglines?
It's things that people remember. They stand out. Like,
I feel like Beverly Hills started on the 2nd episode this season, but like Salt Lake wasn't until like the 3rd or 4th episode that we got.
It was way deep. It was like almost like the mid-season trailer before we got a tagline.
Yeah.
And then I don't think it was even like really worth the wait. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, we were a little bit let down.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to these though.
I am too. Yeah.
I hope there's nothing predictable. Like Erica's on Beverly Hills, everyone's always done.
Well, because like a freaking Camille did like a very similar tagline her 2nd season,
right? So if Porsha is just like doing again,
independence, something about a peach. So we'll incorporate something about a peach. Let's play a drinking game. So we'll incorporate something about or bingo. So we'll have something peach related, something about being independent because like everyone's getting a divorce. By the way, Porsha, Kelli, Drew,
but Angela,
Kenya, not Angela, and not Brit.
Right.
Something about like bringing some newness or something. So the new girl
is Drew's going to be about music.
I'm sure.
Is Drew's going to be like, I hit the high note.
Or I'm investing in me. Like something about like women empowerment. Like
yeah. I see it. I see it happening. Well, I think it's a good first episode.
Yeah.
I'm happy for it.
Yes.
And it has energy is what it has.
It does have energy, yeah.
As sleepy as I was when we went,
I'm surprised, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was very energetic.
Yeah.
And I think there's just a lot to keep track of, which I kind of like. And,
yes.
We'll figure it out.
So, yes, I agree.
Do you want to talk about more? Or I think you're well covered.
I don't think we missed anything. And I remember Swinging Richard, so yeah, I think.
All right, thank God. If it weren't for that, we'd have to keep talking about it. Because you can remember that, we can talk about it next time.
Until next time.